On this episode of The Kieran Show, Kieran paints black.
And grey.
And black. Welcome back to The Kieran Show. On this episode, I'm getting a free commission.
Oh, good. Unfortunately, he has roped me in to his Blood Angel's dream, and we are going to be painting an entire death company today, which is very, very fun.
Yes, so this is the start of my 4th Space Marine
Disgusting.
army. What? I just like Space Marines. Leave me alone.
Yeah, nothing but power armor for this simp.
And on the back of Space Marine 2, you get it.
Yeah, we must preface. We could have been playing Space Marine 2 all day, all night, but instead we're painting Space Marine all day, all night. We have got Lemates.
We have the whole of the new Blood Angels box, so that includes Lemates, Asterath, 10 Assault Intercessors, 10 Jump Pack Marines, and a Brutalist Dreadnought, but in the Blood Angels money, it's a Death Company Dreadnought.
If that wasn't enough.
Yes. We then have Commander Lewis.
Sweet Lewis Lit Cries.
Dante, who you'll be painting.
Hell yeah.
There is a Storm Raisin.
The Raisin.
And that's it, isn't it?
It is. I wasn't quite ready for how big the Raisin is.
Yeah, I mean, look, compared to Kieran's head, that is pretty big.
Yeah, I mean, for scale, this is a real sized plane.
I could get in it.
Kieran is just very strong. Oh, you could. But yeah, there's an awful lot to paint in not a lot of time. We're only doing this in 12 hours rather than 24.
Yeah, so for this, we're working from the same palette, which is something that people have asked for in the channel, just to see what the results end up as. We're stuck to the paints that I've already come up with this week on my tester model, and then 2 styles to see if it comes out the same. So, just so we don't have to talk about it later on, the black that I've used is just black primer on the models, and then on top of that, we're going with German grey for the first highlight.
Real nice.
This will be with an airbrush. Then Black Legion from underneath, just to make that black nice and deep. Chipping highlights for the black, and then, yeah, an oil wash. Yeah, for the tone of the red, Evil Sun Scarlet will be the main tone of red on like a corn red base, but it's the Vallejo equivalent, which is Scarlet Red, but we'll see how that goes. I've told Kieran he needs to paint Dante black. I don't want a gold boy. I was slightly inspired by the Tabletop Titans Death Company Lewis.
Oh, yeah.
Dante.
Yeah, I'd never really seen one in that scheme before.
No.
My goodness.
Yeah. But the brief you've got is it needs to bridge the two together. So it needs to have some gold accents.
Yeah, this guy's definitely going to be the leader of this Death Company.
Yes.
I'm going to have a lot of fun with it because I think it's a beautiful model.
I'm not jazzing it, which is why I'm happy to let you paint it.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's the best.
I mean, I've given him, just to toot my own horn a bit, I've given him a really cool base.
So we will see how we get on. We only have 12 hours to see how far we get. Would you like to begin?
Well, the Storm Raisin will also be in Death Company.
It will, yes.
You've got plenty of giant red crosses to do. Same for the Dreadnought.
Many red crosses.
So this is a day of painting black.
And red. And grey. But more black.
And a bit of gold.
But mainly black.
Let's start. Right. We've finished painting the black for the moment. Still got lots more black to paint. Don't worry, viewers who want to see me fall into a pit of depression while I paint black. But the first set of black is done. So it's had the Zenithal German Grey from underneath, from on top, sorry, and then from underneath just Black Legion, just to give it because black is such a hard colour to paint. You know, it just goes blue, grey, or white. So it's really hard to get good contrast. So I feel like the Black Legion from underneath just blends the grey into the black a bit more. Yeah, this is where we're at. I've done that on everything, including Lemates.
Lemates.
Yeah, he's looking pretty cool. I'm slightly concerned about the sheer volume of detail on this guy. This is insanity. Asterath has had nothing. All I've done is paint his wings in the grey and the black. Yeah, so plan now is to batch into 5s because we're using oil washes, and I mean these ABT ones do dry pretty quick, but there is obviously still an oil drying time. So what I want to get to is 5 done in the sense of they've had the metallics on them and they've had the red crosses and all the red details on them, and then this can go on and dry while we do lunch, and then come back, do the next 5 up to the oil wash, and so on, and kind of like a progressive line that way. Let's go check in on my commission painter.
Okay, so the schmuck that's doing a commission for free, I am painting black. What a shock. So similar to Kieran, I've had the Zenithal highlight over the top for Commander Lewis, the Brutalis, and this. It's a ship, and it's enormous, and I honestly feel a bit sick doing it, because it is far too big. I'm just going to shift, snip out of the way. Yeah, this is ridiculous, the size of it. So it's unholy, so we're just going to forget about that for a while. And we have already started on the Brutalis, which is lovely indeed. So Zenithal done. I've also done, I don't know whether you can see that on the camera. Yes, you can. The small amounts of chipping. It's very, very light at the moment, and I did speak to Kieran about this a second ago. He did mention during this process that we are going to do the oil wash and then chipping again afterwards. So he's almost got like 2 layers of colour, which I think is very, very clever.
It's needed on big panels like that. Otherwise it just looks really flat and the contrast isn't there.
For sure. And on, well, usually to be fair, on Dreadnoughts, I tend to put quite a lot of metallics underneath the panels. However, on this, I really want the detailing to be the red crosses and like maybe some decals and stuff if I can find some. Because I do believe that this will be very, very cool. So it's trying to be a bit more minimalistic with the silver detailing instead, which makes for a time saver as well as it looking quite nice as well. So win-win for everyone. But yeah.
Just because I didn't show you in mine, that's the tester model.
Very exciting.
That I did. So that's
Lovely.
If my commission painter actually does as is told, that's where we should end up.
Oh.
Similar tone of black, really, really deep red.
I think we'll look all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very cool indeed.
We're at lunchtime. It is 12:30. We've been going for 2.5 hours.
Indeed.
We made really good progress painting the black.
That was the easy bit.
Yeah, it turns out, well, I mean, there's still more to do on the black, but...
Well, yeah, it turns out you're really good at painting black when that's the only colour you have to do, which is great, obviously.
And I'm really good at painting it through an airbrush. It's just through brushwork that it all falls over.
Yeah, the Tyranids were a lesson, and we've learned that you can do it. If it's
I really
the
like the tone of black that I've got at the moment as well.
Yeah, same. I think it looks really, really cool. And honestly, with the oil wash that you keep chatting about as well, I'm really excited to see the finished result afterwards. If your tester model is anything to go by, then the rest of it is going to look fire. So very, very excited. The bigger things...
You're really worried about Stormraven now, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah, very much so. I didn't quite grasp how big the Storm Raisin was until I arrived. However, trying to recoup some level of positivity back, and you'll see it in a second, but the Brutalis is going all right. I've got the first layer of red down, so that just needs some highlights, which is great. Yeah, Kieran did say I was dumb for wanting to add transfers to it, but I think...
It will look really cool. I don't think you've got the time, because you're already scared of the Stormraven.
I am, but I think...
You've also put no paint on Lewis, who is a character you're really excited to paint.
I am, but I want to make sure that, similar to your process, that the oil washes are down, start on the next thing. I think I'll be going between Lewis and Brutalis, between the two of those for a while yet. So realistically, if I can get metallics on the Storm Raisin and the other two are done before the end of the day, I'll be really happy with that. I think.
So you're already saying you're not going to finish my commission?
Sorry. Yeah, I was promised the Blood Angels box, and I was thrown Lord Commander Dante, Lewis the Cries, and a giant ship that you've just told me is £70. And honestly,
I think it is about that. Yeah.
There's so much plastic here. I'm hardly surprised.
Yeah, so it might not be 70 quid, but it's definitely one of the more expensive.
Is it a good model?
It's iconic.
No, excuse me. Is it good in game?
It carries a dreadnought.
What?
You can put a dreadnought in it.
Yes, is the answer. Yes, that is really cool.
I'm having to change up my process slightly. So at this point, I wanted to have the oil wash on 5 ready to go. I could put the oil wash down, but there's no metallics. So in the essence of time, putting the metallics down, then doing the oil wash makes the most sense. So I'm going to change my process slightly. I'm going to do 2 batches of 10. So when we come back from lunch, I'm then going to move on to the other 5, do the German grey edge highlights, or scratchy highlights, not edge highlights, then do the red markings, metallics on all of them, oil wash those 10, put them to one side, rinse and repeat on the jump pack boys and potentially Lamarte. Okay, this is where we're at with the Death Company Assault Intercessors. Oh, it's actually been a bit of a slow progress. The red has taken a little bit of time, but they are looking really, really cool. The red really helps break up the black to see where we're at. So that's been good. All I've been doing so far is doing the red details with Scarlet Red, which I think we mentioned before. Yeah, doing the crosses. I will tidy up the crosses later on just to sharpen these lines up. I deliberately go thicker on the red so that when I go back in with the black later on, I get a nice crisp red line. Yeah, it's going.
Okay, welcome to Commission Corner. Population brutalis. So since the last update, there's been some brass, some red highlights, some wires, which is all very nice. Not much going on in the back. But yeah, I'm quite chuffed with this so far. I'm very conscious of time. It's only 2:20 and there's still 8 hours remaining. So must crack on. Spoke to Kieran. He wants the Blood Angel's wings in white / off-white. So I'm going to be doing that shortly before we then move on to transfers. I'm going to do the transfers for this and the Storm Raisin all at the same time to try and make some sort of space, I suppose, for Lord Commander Lewis that cries.
So yeah, things are going. They're not going fast at all. So as you'll have seen, we're halfway and there's no paint on these.
Oh God.
There's no paint on this guy, who we found.
Oh, we found him.
There's no paint on this guy.
Overall, a tragedy.
It's not a tragedy. I'm having a great time. I mean, I'm painting Space Marine, so win-win. But here's where we are. The red's done. Just finished the metallics. And yeah, oil wash time on these 10 is up next. I mean, I've got 5 left to do with oil washes. Not oil washes, sorry. 5 of these left to do with metallics. And then it's oil washes. Confidence levels are low. So for those of you that like to see the breakdowns, we're there.
You've reached the midpoint breakdown.
Yeah, we're at the midpoint breakdown. However, I'm not having a breakdown over the scheme. I actually still really like it. I haven't gone, oh, I've done it all wrong. I'm really happy with the tone of red that I've got. I mean, it'll blend together a bit more when there's an oil wash over the top. And the black, I think I'm really happy with. So I'm feeling pretty good about the scheme as a whole. However, confidence levels for completing this today are at a low.
Okay, welcome to the other corner. Mr. Brutalis has had a oil wash, so he is currently drying, which is why he's so glossy. Excuse me, cough in my throat. But yeah, all the transfers are down. Looks very cool. He's very snazzy. So yeah, very, very chuffed with him. I think after this is fully dry, which will probably be in about an hour, I'll go back to it. I'll start with some more chippings, see where it's at that before I get the base on it, and then that will be really sweet. Whilst I was doing this, I also put all of the transfers on the Storm Raisin. Woo! What a beautiful raisin. So yeah, this is pretty futile at this point. I think I'm never, ever, ever going to get a chance to do all of this at this point, but I'm doing the majority now, which is good to know. And now, whilst the Dreadnought dries, I've started on Sad Boy Lewis That Cries. How exciting. So yeah, just putting the first layer of reds down now. I'll then move on to the metallics before giving him his inevitable oil wash then as well, which should be very, very cool.
It's nearly 5 o'clock, so we have 5 hours remaining. I'm not even where I wanted to be at lunchtime.
Which is mad.
Do you remember I said, viewers will remember, about 5 minutes ago, or whenever it was in the video, I said at lunchtime I wanted to have the oil wash drying while we went for lunch. I haven't even got the oil wash on yet. I've still got the white wings to do. I've still got to do and then got to do the brassy gold details, and then it can have an oil wash. I don't know where the time has gone.
You know what? This always happens, doesn't it? Whenever we do like a challenge style video, whenever you do stuff you care about, you just go whoom. We're like proper slow. And it's obviously because you care and you want to make sure it's precise. It's not like Poopy Imperial Guard where you're just like, yeah, this like you actually genuinely care about. So I totally get it.
Yeah. No paint on Asterath. No paint on Lamatis. No paint on the 10 jump pack Marines. It's taken me 7
hours to half paint Assault Intercessors.
So by rights, there's 10 Assault Intercessors and there's 10 jump pack Intercessors. By rights for that, I won't even finish the Assault Intercessors. Because it's taken 7 hours to get. I don't have 7 hours left to get them to this point.
That's hilarious.
And there's 10 of them.
And there's actually more of them.
There's more of them because they got jump pack.
Yeah, that's embarrassing. Why don't you do those 10 and a character?
I won't get character in 7 hours. I'm at this point in the challenge, I'm half tempted to just paint 10 Intercessors in a day.
I mean,
which feels like a real cop out for you viewers.
That's all you'd be doing anyway. Don't want to tell you. I'm having loads of fun.
Hilariously, right? I mean, it's bad for me. This is the first challenge we've ever had where it's worse for you.
It is worse for me.
You are nowhere near anything. At least I'm near having some playable models. I mean, you've put some transfers on a Storm Raisin and painted a Dreadnought.
So Dreadnought's painted. Just need some highlights and some more grey bits and stuff to rough them up slightly. But I've started on Lord Commander Dante.
What's going on with this?
You be careful with my Storm Raisin.
You've stuck some stickers on it.
Yeah, and look how cool it is now.
Where's the red crosses?
Yeah, admittedly I haven't done that yet. I might crack out the airbrush before the end of the day and get the red crosses on there just to shut them up. But yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. I don't really like Lord Storm Raisins?
Lord Storm Raisin.
Lord Storm Raisin. That's what he is now.
Right, so it's 6:20 and I'm where I wanted to be at lunchtime.
That's good.
I'm ready for an oil wash.
Woo!
It's only 6 hours later than I wanted it to be, but I can finally oil wash these Death Company boys.
What a relief. A relief to us all.
So I'll have 4 hours to paint 2 characters and 10 more Marines.
Absolutely doable.
Yeah. So just a quick update on where we've got to. So the crosses are all done. The red is all done. I've put the white on the wings. They'll get a highlight once the oil wash is on there. I've done the brass details. Not brass. It's more of a goldy brass. And on the box art they have a golder tinge, but I've gone with a colder colour just to try and make that black look a bit warmer, which is the weirdest thing to ever say because black is not a warm colour. But I've used top brass by the Two Thin Coats range. This is my new favourite brass colour actually. One coat does it all, hilariously, because it's called Two Thin Coats, but one coat is plenty.
Okay, Lewis that cries. Quite a lot of progress on this cheeky boy. Started to do his base, so he'll be ready for his oil wash very, very soon. I've got all the bits that I wanted to do. I've done the Hoplite Gold, the speed paint on the old gold bits, ready for a Vallejo old gold as a highlight post oil wash to get some of those highlights in, which would be really, really cool. But honestly, this model is just beautiful, and I'm having the best freaking time with it. Had like some little bits of battle damage on the crosses and the gun casing, similar to K, which is really, really nice. I just need to do some not oil wash. What's it called? Deep shades grime on this thing here because I really want to tone it down because I want to emphasise the old brass through verdigris instead. I think that will look really, really nice against the contrast of the basing. On that, we have some basing on the dread. So we've got the colour down, which is great. Just need to do the pigment next. So utilising the verdigris from Sad Lewis That Cries on the basing will look absolutely lovely. Seeing these two in Death Company colours is wonderful. I love it. I'm having a great time doing it. 1, 2, 3 hours remaining. It is pretty wild mentally in the Death Watch camp. Death Watch, Death Company. How are you feeling? Good.
So,
Strong.
we've got 3 hours left and I'm about to put some paint on the rest of the miniatures in the box.
Oh, how exciting.
So I've got 3 hours to paint Lamarte's Astorath M10 jump.
Lightweight, baby. Real nice.
I've only just put the oil wash on the Assault intercessors, which is hilariously what I wanted to have done at lunchtime.
Yeah, very interesting. That was 6 hours ago.
I don't know where the time has gone on this challenge. I think it's because, like you said, we're just having fun.
It's just nice. It is really fun.
Wholesome.
However, there has been an improvement.
No, there hasn't. You still haven't put any paint on the Storm Ravens.
Oh yeah, Storm is dead. But Lewis has had his oil wash, his little bubble bath. Woo, the Dreadnought's done! Hooray!
Is it though?
Nah, but it is done, which is good. Just not done, if that makes sense.
Done.
Shun done. But yeah.
I think it's done enough in the context of the challenge, but I think it does need some pizzazz.
Yeah, and you know what? It's your model, Ben. So
No, you're taking that boy home.
would be if it was mine, but it's not. So
That's not how commissions work.
That's true. Which is why this isn't one. But
I gave you a beer and a tea. I've more than paid for my commission.
That makes sense.
Right, we're into the weeds of the challenge now. Not many hours left on the clock. Look at these. I mean, they don't have lenses or anything yet. They're not going to get lenses today. Yeah, look. Oil wash is now dry. I've gone back over the black just onto the top of the panels, like here, just to bring back some definition. I think when the eyes go on these will have lots of poppage. Yeah, pretty chuffed. Recently, the last things I've been doing is these. So I've done all of the edge highlights on 5 jump people, and I've done the red on 4. I've got one last one to go and do all the red across. I mean, there is technically 5 more of these, but realistically, I don't think we're getting near them. Lamarte's and Astorath are non-existent.
In Lewis's corner, we have one finished Brutalis Dreadnought. He's very pretty. And we also have Lord Commander Lewis That Cries. Woo! So with an hour to go, I have jumped into helping Kieran with faces and bases, which has been super fun indeed. So we now have quite a cohesive set. So although we haven't finished the entire Death Company in a day, we have certainly made.
We have a playable commander. We have a playable Brutalis and 10 assault intercessors,
which is very cool indeed. And they all look lovely. The day is done. 12 hours have been and gone. Can you paint a Death Company in a day?
No, but everyone knew that already.
Yeah, you knew that by now. But it has been super fun. Indeed, we have painted.
Not a lot.
Stupid. We've painted 10 assault intercessors, Dante, a Brutalis, and no Storm Raisin. But they all look great. You'll see with all the B-roll over the top right now.
All of the lack of it.
The lack of it. It looks cool. They look really good. And you absolutely nailed it on the head. Nailed it on the head? Is that the right phrase?
Yeah, that's hard. Hit the nail on the head.
Hit the head. Yeah, words are hard. When you've been playing for 12 hours. Yeah, this is, I don't know. I think this is really cool. And you've also started an army that you are quite excited about.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first time in Warhammer for me in quite a while that I'm excited to play an army because of the rules.
Sure.
like the new Blood Angels book at the time of recording just looks so fun, and it plays the way I want to play. When I play 40k, I would just want to kill stuff and be up in the grill, whereas a lot of armies don't play like that, whereas obviously this plays well with that.
For sure. What's really funny is that the games we've played with the copious amounts of armies that you have played have never been that play style. But
I make them.
Yeah, you make them like that. So having a unit of bloodthirsty vampire people is probably the closest you've ever come to playing a game of Warhammer that you actually fall in love with, which is hilarious.
Yeah, this is the slippery slope. So in terms of what's left to paint in the Blood Angels box, I've got Astrath, Lamates that have they've had a Xenophil highlight, don't really count. Same as 5 jump pack ones, and then I've started the red on 5 other ones.
Indeed.
And then, like Kieran said, there's 10 that are done. There's plenty more I want to do to them, like they don't have lenses or any other like little details. But my plan for this going forward is to bring everything up to a similar level and then go back through. Normally the way I paint is I do 1 unit done, 1 unit done, whereas that doesn't really work in a challenge because you go, right, I need to get this done to move on to something else. So I think if I carry on with that mentality over weeks or however long it takes, get everything to the same level it's got to in the challenge, and then go back round and just add like scratchy highlights if it needs it or whatever. I mean, my commission painter is the worst commission painter I've ever had. I tasked him with painting this, and all he did was stick some stickers to it.
It was real nice though. They went full like Hot Wheels approach. However, Lord Commander Dante and the Brutalis is looking pretty sweet. So
yeah, I mean, I got 2/3 of my commission for free, so
take it because I've never done it before. And I won't do it again.
You do my Night Lords for free, yeah?
Never, actually, never. Yeah, Night Lords are infinitely harder to paint than this. So no, absolutely not.
I hope you enjoyed watching me paint black.
And
all
also
day.
the midway point meltdown, because that was great.
It's trademark at this point.
It's a trademark Kieran move.
Yeah.
But also another painting cheating challenge.
I think as well, just to talk about, I think this is my favourite challenge we've done so far.
Is it because you love the army more than anything else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what we were talking a minute ago, just before we had like a 5-minute break before we did this final video. I was like, I could paint again tomorrow. And normally when it's challenges, I'm like, I
hate Warhammer. I'll never do it again.
I mean, I might feel different when I come tomorrow and go, oh, I've got to edit this video together.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything else to add?
Only a huge thank you to this giant cult of Kierans on this left-hand side of the screen. You guys make the dream work. We love you. All of your support means the world, and it means that we can do silly challenges like this all the time. Which is absolutely wicked. If you would like to consider joining the Kieran Show cult, as it's known, as you've already heard, please be sure to check out Patreon and our YouTube membership. And the free shilling includes liking, subscribing, and telling your nan, sister, brother, and all your Blood Angels fan friends, which would be lovely indeed.
Yes. But yeah, we do have other painting challenges if you like this one. Ones where we do actually finish.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, maybe Kieran doesn't have as much fun, but that makes for more entertainment for you, so you should probably go watch those. But yeah, it's been a dream. We've got some other painting challenges coming up in the next month, which is very fun.
Yes.
And more daunting than this. A lot more daunting than this. We know what it is.
Tuned.
It should arrive this week.
Yeah, you'll have to stay tuned.
It's bad. And it's your fault. It's bad as well. It's your fault.
This next one will be fun. But yeah, you'll have to wait and see when that ever comes out.
We'll disclose more information when we have it. But until then, thank you so much for joining us on The Kieran Show. See you, love you, bye.